whining so hard. I think life's all about me, and it's hardly even snow, but I stay inside like it's the ice age. I need you to dry my face. Look how I behave, and all the mess that I made. But I did really do my best, breaking down my neck, and it's me to blame.
Help me, I need a good advice. Please don't say no, be my hero. You can tell me lies, please don't cut these ties. Need a hero, 'cause I got zero.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I just love it that you do that. I always miss you during the week. How you been? Did you have a good week? I had a pretty good week. You know, I'm getting ready for a Michigan winter. So I had my boiler checked, I had my roof checked, I had Desi checked. I mean, we're all set. We're going to be okay. But I wanted to thank you last week for all your sweetness and your kindness when I showed you my fall fashions. And I had so much fun doing that. You know, it always makes me think like we're 18 years old and we're in each other's bedrooms going, do these jeans make me look fat? I love doing those videos. And when I was reading through the comments, they really, well, a few of them really struck a nerve because they're the same questions that you've asked me for probably 8 years. And I never answer them because they're too hard. They're too hard to answer. Questions about my children and being a birth parent and my weight and things like that. So I thought, in honor of being on YouTube almost 10 years, I thought, what the heck? Today, I want to answer 3 of your most asked questions that I always avoid. Let's talk about being genuine and being authentic. I get the question a lot, do I really live where I am showing that I live, or is that a studio? Am I really the woman that I project to be? Or is it all put on for the camera? Do I feel pressure being on a platform where people are going to view my life and judge my body, and every word that I say they're going to parse? And does that bother me? So it's kind of, there seems to be a lot of questions about how I feel how I feel about the image that I am projecting to you. And how much is that public relations and how much of that, I guess, is authentic? Boy, that was a mouthful, wasn't it? I guess maybe bottom line is, am I for real? And the answer is, I have gotten to an age where I have to be real, because if I made something up, I certainly couldn't remember it. And where I live, yes, this is my home, and hopefully I've showed you the buying process and the moving in process and all of that. So yes, what you see is what you get, and what you get is for real. There's nothing spectacular about me or my life. I'm just living life like millions of other women my age that we don't usually get to see. I don't have an agenda. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I am sharing with you just things that come up in a woman's life. It's just one tiny little slice of one woman's life that I have to offer you. And that's how it is. I think one of the things sometimes that does surprise me is I thought by the time I got to be 70 years old that nobody would judge me on my makeup or my hair or my body. You're too fat, that makes you look like a house or blah, blah, blah. I didn't think that was going to happen. There was always this kind of relief that as soon as I got to be 70, maybe I could eat a few Oreos and I could let things slide a little bit and just enjoy life. Have that dessert after supper, just let it, wear the colors I've always wanted to wear that are bad taste. But what I've found is that over the years on this platform, the more I weigh, the more my views will go down. And that has surprised me. That, I'm a size medium, and that for some people in the comments, that's outrageous. And they want me to lose, 30, 40 more pounds. And I tell you what, being too thin scares me more than me being overweight. And I'm going to try to get some clips for you, but the thinnest you've ever seen me is about 139 pounds. And now I can show you some pictures of me when I was 107 as a very troubled young girl, but we don't want to go there. And then the most you've ever seen me is, I think I hit 160. In fact, I know I did. And that was at York Creek. I've never weighed that before in my whole life except when I was pregnant with my son, Chris. But yeah, I topped 160 at York Creek. So I'm going to try to get those clips so you can see the fluctuation in my weight.
I know, might just meet some guy and cry a little. Help me, I need a good advice. Please don't say no, be my hero. You can tell me lies, please don't cut these ties. Need a hero, 'cause I got zero.
I think I look just fine at 139, and I'm about 10 pounds away from that right now. I don't have to get any thinner than that. I've lost a family member to anorexia, and I know that body shaming and trying to be too thin is so dangerous for women. And I do see the beautiful ladies on YouTube who make their living on YouTube that show clothes. Well, losing weight, it's almost like contagious. It's almost like a virus. One gets thin and then the other one gets thin and then the other one gets thinner and then their views go up. And it's a terrible cycle. I want to do everything I can to avoid that, to avoid catching that, well, she's thin, I'm going to be as thin as she is. No, in fact, I can be thinner. And then that's no good. That's no good. Your self-worth is not wrapped up in how thin you are. And that absolutely, when every single week you're on YouTube and you know that the thinner you are, the more money you're going to make and the more accolades you'll get. You have to be pretty secure about who you are and what your goals are. Most of the time, 99% of the time, those that criticize my size are women, not men. Men don't care. As long as you're breathing, they don't care. It's women. And I don't quite understand that. And I'm not blaming women. 99.9% of all of you here are so wonderful. And you'll leave comments like, I'm so glad you show us fashion and you're not a toothpick. And I take that to heart and I'm happy with that. I always feel that I have something inside me that keeps me whole and grounded. And I love my ladies here. I don't feel alone because I know so many of the things that I struggle with, everybody here struggles with. And that has made all the difference in my life. Pain is more painful in isolation.
Help me, I need a good advice. Please don't say no. Be my hero. You can tell me.
9 years ago next month, I did a video called Rosehip Seed Oil and Why You Have to Have It. And that title still cracks me up because I was so new on YouTube. But I had started using rosehip seed oil and I loved how my neck and my décolleté and my skin on my face felt. And I just talked about it all the time and I loved it. And everybody was talking about Retin-A, and Retin-A is fantastic. But I just found something so special about rosehip seed oil and pumpkin seed oil. And so I get questions about it every single day. Do you still use it? And in what order do you use your oils? And so I'm saying right now, yes, I feel that I really have been vindicated, that somehow there's something about getting that oil on your fingers and pressing it into your skin in the morning and at night in any order that you want. Whatever you're using, like I use this collagen serum by Eva Naturals, and I love this serum, but I can use this and then my oil or vice versa. It doesn't matter to me. My dermatologist told me it doesn't matter. So I just feel that there are so many products that have come and gone in my life. I'm always changing serums. I usually will stick with a serum for a couple years and then I'll think, yeah, well, maybe I'll try this rice serum. I'm trying a rice serum right now. But the one thing in my skin regimen that never ever changes is my rosehip seed oil and my pumpkin seed oil. I just love them. The first thing in the morning before I walk Desi, I will make sure, no makeup, just oil. And I think it really, really has helped, especially with my neck. I have to say, as I've gotten older, there are no 2 days alike. One day I can just be so happy and everything just looks so beautiful to me. And then some days, I'm still okay. It's just that there seems to be like this sort of wistfulness, this feeling that I have unfinished business. Sometimes I can start thinking about something that happened 40 years ago. I don't know why that is. You're so kind and so sweet. And whenever you ask this, you do it with great kindness and delicacy. But you will say, well, Susan, you have 2 sons. Why is it that you only talk about one? Oh, I get that a lot. And I've never known how to answer that to you without going into things that are very painful for me. But I'm going to give it a whirl right now. And I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version of it to try to shorten it up. Because once I did a whole video about it, and it was a bridge too far for me. I couldn't go there. And I still can't. But let's give this a whirl. When I was 14 years old, I had a very troubled childhood and I got pregnant. And back then, they sent you to an unwed mother's home. And they told you that you did not have a choice. You had to give your baby away. And so it was arranged with Catholic Services that they would take my baby and place my baby with a deserving couple because at 14, 15 years old, I was not an acceptable mother. So that was that. And I watched the nurse take my baby and walk down the hall with it. So I lost my first son, Sean. And when I was 18, I had my son, Christopher. And I was married and I was over the moon. There was my boy, my baby that I could keep and I could raise. So I made sure over the years that I would write to the state in case my first son, Sean, would ever go looking for me. And I wanted to make sure that he could find me. And I also wanted to make sure that in that file were details of what exactly had happened. And when Sean was 30 years old, he found me. And we had the most beautiful reunion. And he's a wonderful man. And I love him with all my heart. And I cannot tell you, when we first embraced and he whispered, "Mother," in my ear, it was amazing. So, why I only talk about Christopher and not Sean? Well, Sean has a job that takes him all over. He travels like crazy. He's very busy and he doesn't live anywhere near me. But we pick up the phone. We always write. We remember each other's birthdays. But we're not exactly in each other's lives. It's been quite a few years since I've been in the same room with Sean. But that doesn't diminish my love for him, nor perhaps his love for me. That's just the way it is. He loves the mom and dad that raised him. That's the way it should be. So, if Sean isn't really interacting in my life, it's hard for me to talk about him. We are connected, whether we're in the same room or not, we are connected. And for so many years, as a young woman, I would look up at the sky and I would look up at the stars and I would always think, my son Sean, wherever he was, I didn't even know what they named him. But I always thought to myself, my son is looking at the same sky, the same stars, and we're connected. And that's how I'll always feel. Even though now I can pick up the phone and call that young man who happens to be 54. And it's so funny that even though I didn't raise Sean, he feels so much like I do about almost everything. So that's why I only talk about my one son. Watching my little grandson dance will always heal my heart. The thing about great loss is it makes you appreciate everything you have. It magnifies all the beauty and love around you, and you see life not yet lived in the young faces of the parade, knowing the challenges and the hurt they probably will face. But in the end, all you can do is smile and wish them well, for there is so much they'll have to learn, all on their own, just like we did.
Help me, I need a good advice. Please don't say no. Be my hero. You can tell me lies. Please don't cut these ties. Need a hero, 'cause I got zero.
Get a lot of Desi questions. You want to know how old he is and what kind of dog is Desi. And Desi is half Shih Tzu and half Dachshund. So he's a Shwini dog. And there are clubs on Facebook that you can belong to, like Shwini Dog clubs, and it's an adorable club. And also Desi's birthday is next month and he will be 11 years old. And what about Desi's singing? Desi has always been a singer. And I asked the vet, I said, when Desi sings, am I hurting his ears with my bad singing? And the vet said, no. You may be hurting other people's ears, but not Desi. He said that dogs sing, they throw their head back and sing because they want to be part of something. They want to be noticed. And I love that. And so when Desi is up to it, he sings. Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I loved it. And if you get time down below, maybe you could share something about what's going on in your life right now. And are you happy? Are you doing okay? Please have yourself a happy brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi if you can, okay? All right. Very cool. It's a deal. We'll be here.
Help me, I need a good